Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Jonathan Casey here. Um, yeah, we just had a new moon in Aries yesterday. It happened pretty late in the day, so in a way, that new moon energy is sort of taking off today. Um, but yesterday, nonetheless, uh, I wanted to talk about two events that happened in Canada here. Both on the new moon in Aries. And I can't help but think that, you know, um, well, it's still under debate. Is this, you know, cosmic coincidence? Or is this orchestrated and planned out um, using seasonal energies to help uh, these agendas take root? Okay, like last year, it was right at the beginning of Aries season when the lockdowns happened here in Canada when it hit the general public. Um, this year they waited until the first new moon in Aries, which so if Aries season is the astrological new year, in another way, the Aries new moon um, kind of kicks it off. Okay. Yes, the sun moved into Aries on the 20th, 21st of March, um, but that was in the middle of a moon cycle. So here we have the first moon cycle of the astrological new year. And, you know, things are, I haven't really got too much news about anything happening anywhere else. Uh, but Canada really seems to be coming down hard on its people. And what a slap in the face, too, after that Texas baseball game where they played the Toronto Blue Jays to a packed stadium. And here we have Texas opening up while Ontario and Canada is becoming more strict. So, what happened yesterday that I want to talk about? The two things. One is a church in Alberta. Um, the police have put not one, not two, but three fences around the property. One of the fences even having a black privacy, so you can't even see the church. And um, and what happened there? And I can't say that this is for sure, but to me, this is what I would have assumed too. And from the video I have seen, um, I feel like I could point out who the cops were. Um, so yeah, there was the third fence line was torn down by some aggressors, um, and to me this looked very much like they repeated um, the same layout of a plan um, as they did at the Capitol on January 6th in the States. Um, before it even happened, the media were painting, had already in their titles uh, religious people who associate themselves as patriots. Okay, so here they are trying to attack that patriotical attitude kind of deal, and trying to turn people into domestic terrorists, especially the religious. Okay, there's been an attack on the churches in almost every province here, and the way that I interpret things is you may not believe in what they believe, but to me, small business and the right to religious freedoms are two safety nets that is in the way of the agenda. Um, Small business allowing there to basically be a middle class. You know, they even took down, uh, and this was due to Joe Biden, um, the layoffs of all those people in the pipelines. Okay, you could see with small business and the job losses, the middle class is being annihilated, and religious freedom um, is also under attack, trying to be annihilated. Without religious freedom, um, basically there goes debate in a way, and um, small business takes away uh, sovereign ability to uh, choose the direction, um, competition in product and different things like that. So here in Ontario, oh, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was oh yeah, so I didn't finish the church aspect. So yeah, some people tore down the church, and the people put the church back up. Sorry, they pulled down the fencing, and the people put the fencing back up. Okay, because the fight is not with the police. If the police cannot remain in control of the situation, then the military comes in. Okay, um, and so we need to tolerate the police. We need to try and work with the police, and inevitably, we need to try and win over the police. Um, and that I feel is what we need to do. This whole fence being torn down, there obviously was some weak links in the fence for it to come down as such. Okay, um, and it was a very small group of people who did it. People have been claiming that there was two that were police, and obviously monkey see, monkey do. A few others just follow suit. How and they got this on camera. The mainstream fake news media. So they managed to spin what really happened. And now they brought 200 more heavily armed cops in with tear gas and all this stuff. This was planned on the new moon. Um, and I'm just glad it didn't go further than what it did. But you see, what happens is I've been saying for days before this happened that this is a stage being set. Um, and what do you know? You got everyone looking over here, look over here, and then they formulate public perspective. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was Quebec. Quebec has had a curfew for a long time now. which is ridiculous. Like, how is curfew have anything to do with science? The curfew is 9:30, and they decided to move it to 8 p.m. Now, what the fuck is that gonna do? Except for entice exactly what happened, a riot. Okay, people broke the order. People stayed on the streets, and then there's always a group that just come to cause trouble, and that was Bloc Québécois. They dress in all black, and they started fires and started smashing windows and um, formulating a negative public perspective on the entire protest. People are tired, you know. What do you expect? This was planned. The government knew how the people would react. Um, and that's what they want. They want that because they want to show that to basically the zombies, the puppets, the people who can't think for themselves, the people whose opinions are so easily formulated, their perspectives are so easily formulated. Now, what's going on in Ontario is the government decided um, to not allow anyone to buy non-essential items. So you could only go get your groceries at the grocery store. And this was already done in Manitoba, I believe it was. And that was the trial run. And now they're bringing it to Ontario. And I feel like these kinds of things happen all over the world. They try out something over here, try something else over there, and see what works, see what doesn't, and then they slowly start to bring the things that work somewhere else. Okay, and I feel like Canada right now is mirroring what happened in the States last year. They're really going to be trying to paint patriots and Christians as domestic terrorists. And that's basically what the Capitol insurrection has helped lead to. Yeah, so you can't buy items, you can't buy diapers, you can't buy clothes, shoes. You can go and get groceries. That's about it. You could still go, say, on Walmart and do a curbside order, or, Amazon or Walmart offers this too, delivery at home. And that's to me what this is really training us to do, is to get onto the internet, and anything you want. You no longer can go out into public. You have to buy it all online. And when the food shortages come, that's how this is all going to go as well. You get so much rations. You might have a little bit of choice in that rations, but you're going to need to get into the computer. You're going to have to get into that system and how it works and get accustomed to it. That's what I feel is going on right now. Because to me, this fall, we are going to see the housing bubble collapse, the economy, an economy collapse, the middle class, the businesses are going to be wiped out. I went to a dollar store and I grabbed some non-essential items, and I walked to the cash to purchase my items, and they're like, "Oh, we can't sell you this," and I'm like, "Well, there's about 13.50 in product here with tax. Here's a $20 bill." I dropped it on the counter, and I go to walk out, and a woman, an older lady, stepped in front of me and said, "No, I'm not taking a fine for bubbles. I was buying bubbles. I bought a bubble machine that just makes makes bubbles, and I actually set it up on my porch, so it just it makes my house feel a little bit more magical. Um, just having fun with that, you know." And she's like, "I'm not taking a fine for bubbles," and I wasn't about to assault any lady or anything like that, and I really am not trying to make conflict, but and this I wish I had said to her is, sure, you won't take a fine for bubbles, but she doesn't know me. Maybe I was some crazy psychopath who she basically put herself in harm, in possibly put herself in harm's way had I been some unstable lunatic, for bubbles. You know, she wouldn't take a fine, but she would actually possibly risk her life for bubbles. Now, I kind of wanted to go back in this store waving a white flag. However, I don't really want to push the issue. I kind of wanted to bring that up to her, but I also walked into Walmart after, and I grabbed the bubbles right off the shelf and went to the self checkout. The shelf was ribboned off. I went to the self checkout, and they went through just fine. So, it was a Dollar Tree, not a Dollarama. Uh, so the Dollar Tree, I don't believe franchise. I don't believe is um, anywhere near as what's the word? Anyhow, basically what I'm trying to say is that woman not wanting to sell me bubbles, having because the Dollar Tree barely sells anything in the grocery related items. Okay, Dollarama a little bit more, but the Dollar Tree really just has chips and chocolate bars, um, and junk. You know, coffee and tea, maybe a couple canned goods. But what do they have left? Why even stay open? And by not selling their other items, they're asking to be put out of business because you could still go get those items, um, by shopping online, by just going to the self checkout like I did at Walmart. You know, there's a lady I know who grabbed a whole big beanbag chair, okay, and went right through self checkout with these mandates. It's ridiculous, you know. Um, and I'm probably gonna go get more bubbles actually because there's 3 more weeks of this nonsense, and I can't see them um, lifting a lot of restrictions, especially before our long weekend in May. The weather will be getting nicer. People will be wanting to go outside. People will be wanting to get together because a lot of people aren't having this anymore. Even though I feel a lot of people aren't standing up and they aren't saying anything, um, but they're still participating by those actions. Uh, However, Um, yeah, whatever. Um, I just don't see. That's what happened last year too, right? They they kept moving the goalpost back, moving the goalpost back. Um, the May long weekend, they were like, "Oh, we'll have plenty more long weekends," and there was not one long weekend. Um, just like they do at Christmas and Easter and all these Thanksgiving, you can't get together with family. They do it right before these holidays. Um, they do that with the long weekends as well. Restrict anything and everything that they possibly can. Now, I said in a past video what's going to happen this year, and I'm right. Like this new moon shows you exactly what's going to develop. Okay, the full moon of this lunar cycle is Scorpio. It's a death and a rebirth. Basically, the rebirth. The death comes in the fall, um, and the whatever the the fall. Things end. You've harvested your blessings of the year, and you go through a transitional period of winter, and then comes the new year, the Aries season, and the transformation for something new comes up. Okay, so yeah, um, I guess that's what I have for you. I was, I'll read this anyhow. If you guys don't want to stick around, you don't have to. But so the new moon that we had yesterday, where is it? Right here. Okay, this book's called Inside Degrees by Elias Lonsdale. It's depictions of each degree in the zodiac wheel. Um, basically, it's it's what do you call that? What's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to find it in the written here. Um, they're channeled basically, uh, channeled depictions for the degrees, and for the new moon that we had yesterday, it was at 22 degrees Aries. Um, and so the depiction is puppets coming alive at night. Okay? The inner worlds can be just as animated, as fully fleshed out, as vivid and vibrant as any outer world could ever hope to match. There are vast kingdoms to explore on the inner. It is all a matter of motivation. If you seek for inward substantiation, you will get it, and you will get it to infinity and beyond. Here you get what you ask for. Everything snowballs. It tests you mightily, in that everything inside comes out. A wish like magic becomes embodied. Being so fertile and ingenious is one of the most demanding possible arenas to put yourself in. Most difficult of all is that if you fear or dread, resist or deny, these two have full power to play themselves out all the way. I'm going to stop for a second. You know, I went through something in 2019 and I felt it was all for preparation of what's coming. I feel like I failed my own hero's journey. That I froze the fight, flight, or freeze. I feel like I froze, and then I decided this is too fucking much. I don't want to face any of this. Um, Anyhow, then when 2020 happened, I feel like what I felt like I went through the year before was mind control. And that's what I was able to recognize happening to the general public with COVID. And I also see that what happened basically is explained right there in, you know, most difficult of all is that if you fear or dread, resist or deny, those two have full power to play themselves out all the way. So, yeah, I had some doubt or whatever, and I chose, I guess, to resist or deny, and that's why I feel I went through what I did, perhaps. Um, Anyhow, the inner life becomes the place where everything's happening and where you must cultivate your highest and your best, or else be treated to the validation and proof of whatever you put in there coming out again, amplified, magnified, completely full on. So yeah, I felt like I faced a lot of my inner garbage, um, and 2019 was a time to believe in myself and in my experience, I resisted and denied and uh, everything that could possibly freak me out played out again, and I fell right back into the angry, emotional, depressed, self loathing, um, hopeless mentality where the alien conscious beings want me to be producing adrenochrome for them to feed off of. Um, yeah. So, I don't know, I really feel like I've, I really feel like I was being gifted some, um, some powers of insight, uh, which I feel like I've lost. My mind is really scattered. That's why I haven't been so present anymore. Um, oh, why? You know, I don't know. I had that. My channel was called Mercury's Messenger. Um, I actually go by Kevin in in my day to day. Jonathan is my legal first name. My folks always called me Kevin. The KC is Kevin Cote. Um, and Jonathan and Mercury's Messenger was, in a way, a chance for a new identity, uh, to create a vision of self, um, under those aliases. And I feel like I have tarnished both of those. Um, it's not a fresh start anymore. So I changed my channel to Corona Awakening 2020. I really like that name. However, I don't really feel uh, like I'm contributing all that much to the awakening anymore. I feel like I was a star seed put here to do that had I successfully went through my hero's journey. Now, why didn't I succeed that hero's journey? I don't know. I slightly am convinced that um, I was tracked by AI technology, perhaps, um, realizing that I was in an awakening and therefore targeted to not awaken. Um, I don't know. You know, I I'm I've come to terms, I guess, with what happened. I'm not happy about it because I really feel like um, I did myself and everyone else a disservice. Uh, especially to those close to me. Um, and yeah, I guess it's just swallowing that pill again and going forth from there. But what is forward? I bought this house. And I kind of feel, in some ways, I had I had 4 people over the other night. Just had a fire outside, and that's kind of in a way why I bought the place. I kind of wanted to have have a bit of a social life again, um, have company, but I really I don't want to put up with these outside government influences that have really turned us all against each other, and it's sad. It's so sad how people are in such denial um, to the bigger pictures um, going on, and I'm really disheartened by it all. Oh man, the full moon. The depiction was a cave high up, filled with goat shit, and that's that's what we're dealing with. Goat shit, sheep shit. Boy, oh boy. I'm just, I don't really have anything else to say. So I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. And, you know, maybe maybe you'll see me again soon. Bye for now. Cheers.